top to bottom, they are the ones who are at fault. They made Dr. Disrespect DM a minor, actually.
They should never be talking about anybody or any situation that ever goes on.
Okay. All right. Well, that's so crazy. Okay. Happy anniversary to your tweet.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wait, so did you read it, or I just
No, we clicked on it, and then I was gonna read it, and then you were like, "Oh, if you're gonna read it, have me on," and I was like, "Yeah, let's do that instead."
Okay, cool. Well, I can, go along with you. If you like, yeah.
Okay. Dr. Disrespect knowingly sent explicit text message to a minor, former Twitch employee says. So let's get down to the actual meat of the article, because we've covered this extensively with you as well. All the background, the Me Too reckoning, as you expertly mentioned last time you were on here, which kind of lent credence to the speculations that it might be a sex pest related situation that led to Dr. Disrespect's ban. However, there is some new information on here that you are adding to the conversation. So what are some of the things that you can now reveal legally?
I mean, I can, through my source. I mean, the doc somewhat did it himself, trying to change his text back and forth in his own statement, which was incredible. I gotta say, Doc, well played. That really went very, very well. But a direct source who worked for Twitch for a very long time and has direct knowledge with reading the whispers and logs of the conversation, which we will never have and no one should ever have. And that's actually a very important part of this entire piece that I tried to make sure is that he told me, and he said that through him looking at the whispers, Doc knew that the victim was a minor when he was speaking. And he had full knowledge of that. And after he was told that, the conversation stayed the same. And they were just as explicit after he had knowledge that who he was talking to was a minor than from before.
Okay. So that's it's certified. I mean, he already admitted it, to be fair. He did. He was like, he recognized it and admitted it and voluntarily came out with it. So obviously he knew that this would be revealed inevitably. Like in terms of the person being a minor, and that he had knowledge over the fact that the person he was talking to was a minor, because I feel like
I think he tried to make it ambiguous in terms of if he knew or not.
Well, not necessarily. I think he tried. I think he tried to get ahead of that. You're right. I mean, he was trying to make it as ambiguous as possible, but like ultimately, you wouldn't make that revelation if that was not something that you knew would have inevitably come out. And the other part of this conversation would also be like whether he knew or not, right? And a lot of people immediately were like, "Oh, I don't want to believe this. I don't want to believe this." Maybe he didn't have prior knowledge that this person was a minor. Okay, but then he would mention that in his defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he would most likely mention that in his defense in that tweet. And yet he did not, which is why I suspected that he also knew that the person he was talking to was a minor. You know what I mean?
I felt that this was really the final, most important part of the context of the situation, since it was not reported and it was still kind of unclear, I think, for a lot of people. And I wanted to make sure that this could be on the record that is the case.
Yeah. A former Twitch Trust and Safety employee who worked for the platform at the time Beam was banned and has direct knowledge of the matter confirmed to Rolling Stone that Beam continued to send sexually minor he knew to be underage. This former employee, who requested anonymity to avoid jeopardizing their career, also said that crucial elements of Beam's latest defensive tweet are inaccurate. I recall that Dr. Disrespect was made aware by the individual that they were underage during the conversation, after which he indicated that this was no problem and continued on, the former employee says. There was no confusion. Messages sent after this was acknowledged were no less graphic and in sexually explicit nature than before. And I think more than the categorization of leaning too much in the direction of being inappropriate might indicate.
That was how he described it, in
Yeah.
his own quote. From what I understand and have been told, it was far away from how he described it.
Yeah, it's wild. Well, I mean, obviously, the minor in question like felt some type of way about the conversations that took place, considering that they clearly reported it to Twitch, albeit years later, but still reported into Twitch in 2020, which led to the investigation and the subsequent ban. So, you know, at the time, they might not have even been aware that this was something that they could that they could be reporting.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the new that is the new reporting on here, right?
Well, no, the other major reporting section is that I was able to get a quote from Ryan Wyatt, otherwise known as Fwiz. He was the global head of gaming partnerships.
Yeah.
He basically ran YouTube gaming since the launch of YouTube gaming all the way through up until I believe 2 years ago. So he was like the guy who did everything over there, and he confirmed to me for the first time that Dr. Respect was never offered an exclusive contract. You know, like you had Ludwig and Valkyrie and Tim, who all got big money, 7-figure contracts. Dr. Disrespect never got a partnership because he was told by investigative journalists and a Twitch employee privately some of the rumors that were going on beforehand. So that is why we've never seen Doc. Like anyone is free to stream on YouTube if you have a YouTube. But that is why,
unfortunately,
see, anybody can do it. It takes no talent or skill. But that's why Doc was never even considered for that.
The unfortunate part of all of this was there were so many rumors circulating in the industry. One that was a minor was involved. Dude, how the fuck did I not hear a single thing? Rod, I never even asked you personally. I asked you a couple times and you never told me. So like, I never even. It's kind of wild that there was these rumors circulating and I had no fucking clue, which is pretty wild. The unfortunate part of all of this was there were so many rumors circulating in the industry. One that was a minor was involved, he says, but no one produced firsthand knowledge or evidence. And because of those rumors, there was no reason to entertain doing any deal with Beam, and no evidence produced means you can't act on a terms of service violation. The whole situation got even more confusing when Twitch settled and effectively said no wrongdoing, which made everyone in the industry dismiss the rumors. But even still, there was never a reason to do a deal with them after that ban.
So, I mean, you could see that, like, if the head of YouTube is getting confused by everything, like, this is why I really do feel like, I mean, there's a ton of different reasons which I try to explain in here about why everyone should be confused. In reality, everything that happened actually was relatively good if you look at it, in that we still don't know who the victim is. The public really had no information in all this time until Cody made his tweet. And that has been always for the safety of the victim and victims involved. Like trust and safety and enforcement ops and, you know, a lot of things I talk about, like them doing the work that they did is why everyone had been in the dark this whole time. If things had gotten out earlier, if you had wanted Twitch to explain, that would have compromised the entire case, and that would compromise everyone else that is there. So everyone
people are asking question marks. He said victims instead of victim.
That is the apostrophe S.
Okay.
For this specific case, yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Did you see about the trans sex worker who said that Dr. Disrespect was? What do you think about the veracity of those claims? I mean, some people that know her said that she's like airtight. She wouldn't lie, but I don't know enough.
I mean, I did not speak to her. I have no reason not to believe them. I mean, there have been several instances of Doc sending text messages. I'm sure there are other you know, I don't know either way, honestly. No
Yeah.
information on her.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well.
So the other big parts in this, if you want to go up it, and the rest is, I really did try to want to detail what was happening inside of Twitch in the midst of this entire situation, and how they looked at it internally, and how they tried to, look at this from multiple situations. So this former employee and this source of mine was able to give me insight into that. So when there was a flood of sexual misconduct allegations to a number of streamers in early 2020, internally, I was told by this source that Twitch created an incident response team, and they have code names for various things that happen in there. Like when the biggest hack ever happened to Twitch, like there was a code name, which I have to try to look it up. But for this specific instance, they named themselves Gold Sparrow. And Gold Sparrow was created to develop a process and to investigate and take action to all the reports that were coming in from that month of June in 2020. Which I thought was pretty interesting, and a good way for them to go about everything. I thought they did a pretty good job of handling all the situations early on, even from a public perspective. And they were only able to do that with all the teams working together.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm thinking of like what we've covered this up and down so much.
Yes.
That I'm like thinking about like, what is there anything that we haven't brought up?
Much of it isn't like to be, maybe like new reporting information. I did try to do a good job of highlighting the back end side of things. Like I can say like that they spoke about like when this was happening, about what kind of punishment they should have for Dr. Disrespect, and it was, from the source says, relatively quick and unanimous between everybody in the room. There was no dissent in terms of one way or the other. The contract that he had just signed for millions of dollars did not come into play at all. All the different departments that came together to make a decision all agreed pretty quickly, I was told from this. But I do really, the thing I wanted to highlight, and I don't know if you talked about this, is that the trust and safety team and the legal operations team, that all work, and the LEO team, the law enforcement response team, that all work together. Like what they do and what they did is all for, I mean, we kind of talked about it before, like, to protect everything. And that is why, like, no one will ever see logs. There will never be anything printed. And this isn't all, it shouldn't be for the internet. Like these past 4 years should not have been always. I know it got turned into that situation because it became a mystery, and I obviously didn't help with my tweet and such. Of course I take blame for there too, but for it to have been a mystery for this entire time, and for people to have known nothing and still know nothing, means that the people that worked at Twitch and who handled all this did a good job. And then not everything has to be like engagement endorphins and likes and YouTube video and YouTube views and, view count on Twitch or whatever. It's okay that people did not know details of this story. And people should look at it like it's a good thing that many people did not have details of this for this entire time.
Yeah. Good luck explaining that to people. Good luck. Good luck trying to hammer that. Good luck trying to hammer that into the minds of people who have already been like, the Dr. Disrespect texting minors thing. It's one thing, but like, why didn't Twitch plaster this all over the fucking place, top to bottom? They are the ones who are at fault. They made Dr. Disrespect DM a minor, actually.
They should never be talking about anybody or any situation that ever goes on. And they don't. They really have done a good job of not doing things. I mean, there's been as much complaints about Twitch for being, ambiguous in their bans and people not knowing what's going on. And sometimes, yeah, you have people like getting banned for videos and saying dumb shit, which I think is one thing. But then there are actually really, truly serious situations like this that people should not and cannot demand information and access to, when not only should they not have it, but a lot of times it is illegal. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just having minors conversations. That is an illegal thing to do.
Yeah. I think that, ultimately it's because of the age of the victim and the nature of the misconduct that makes this tricky to just like come out and be like, yeah, this is the reason why we banned his ass. Kaya, get out. Kaya, place. Yep, place.
How old now?
Kaya is 15 months old now. Did Twitch not unban him? No, Twitch never unbanned him. No, of course not. It is crazy though that, like, I mean, obviously people not knowing then, allowed him to continue, pumping out content on YouTube. Like he went on for a 4-year streak on YouTube. And it is, I mean, look, I like Fwiz, and he says here, like, he kind of hands it back to Twitch and says, like, well, it's because they never showed any evidence that, we didn't have any terms of service violations that we could get him on.
Yeah, I mean, that shows even to a company thing. It's not like Twitch is working with YouTube and divulging information. They're not doing that either. Discord was very particular and unique because Twitch worked with Discord in terms of this situation. Discord found things on their own, and that is why they deleted and removed his partnership on that very same day. Like, that's a unique situation in terms of like this specific case.
What the hell is this guy doing, dude? It's just, I mean, I don't know. Oh, that's just, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Anna, let's try to steer this conversation to at least a funnier point. But Kick, have you seen the Kick statement that they gave to Dixerdo, which is so funny? They're giving the hot tips to Dixerdo.
No, for what?
Kick said to Dixerdo, according to Dixerdo's original reporting. Wait, hold on. I'm scrolling through, like, Misgives hair plants and things like that. Or no, this is not it. This is your reporting that they're covering. Hold on. Where the fuck was it? Oh, here it is. It's too soon. Kick has no plans to preemptively ban Dr. Disrespect via Kick's head of strategic partnerships. I think it's just too soon to even consider that. Based on what I've seen with Doc, I don't see the guy making a comeback anytime soon. I think he genuinely wants to take some time off and decompress. He added, I wouldn't even comment on that.
I mean, it's on the money over there, right?
It's like,
you expect anything different?
I love that they're like, he was just like, yeah, we're entertaining the idea. Like, it can be seen as like, maybe in the future we might ban him. We might give him a contract. Who knows?
Is there some bizarro world that he gets more popular?
I don't know.
When he returns to streaming?
If you were to ask me this question, 5 days ago, I would have said no. But considering that I have seen so much defense of Dr. Disrespect's actions from people who understand the situation and yet still defend him, and people who, like, I guess, are voluntarily misunderstanding the situation and defend him, I don't know. Maybe there is a market for this sort of thing, that, like, people like it. Like,
I mean, his tweet has like 140,000 likes. Came in right in time. Elon.
Oh yeah, there's like, yeah, Elon is too busy restoring accounts that are posting CSAM. So,
yep.
personally invested in the game.
So then Doc can stream on Twitter.
Oh my God.
If there's any person in the world that would court Doc Moore, probably Elon.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I can see Elon offering him a contract. I can see him doing that. Not even a joke. There's actually, oh my God, we just spoke it into existence. Fuck.
Tucker Carlson and Doc can do a
Guy
show
Beam
together.
did it, not Doc. The Doc we all know would never do this. In my mind, they're different people. Doc will just be MIA from me from now on. I mean, this is still better than fucking Sneeko coming out to like vociferously defend Dr. Disrespect. So like the bar is low, but this has got to be a meme for the most part. The next door screenshot about Doc being arrested is fake. It's a fake screenshot. I didn't even show the next door screenshot. But I don't, like I said, that is like unconfirmed anyway. I would not run with that. Anyway, all right. Rod, do you have any other questions about the debate? Now that we're
thank you for reading, everyone. Please go click and give me traffic if you have not while I'm here.
Of course.